Coming at you full-fledged, it's your boy Regg, with another video for y'all, man. Welcome, YouTube, in the second installment of 10 greatest NBA teams of all time. We have the 1972 Los Angeles Lakers. In my opinion, this has to be the very first team to successfully model their team after the dynastic Boston Celtics of the 1960s. Four-time NBA champion and great Celtic shooting guard Bill Sharman being the coach of the team is the best example of that. Another great detail to substantiate that is the fact that between 1959 and 1969, the Lakers lost to the Celtics 7 times in the championship round. Many of those going a grueling 7 games and being decided with a loose ball or a John Havlicek steal or a Bill Russell block or a turnover or whatever. So they all knew this Lakers team, or the vestiges that were still on this Lakers team, knew the tricks of the trade. Just 9 games into the 1972 regular season, former team captain Elgin Baylor will retire from the game as injuries to his knees began failing to the point of no return. While the super team didn't consist of the original 4 players in the 9 games, 2 of the 3 players on the team at the time were at least still in the top 10, in addition to another all-star level guard. Gail Goodrich not only led the team in scoring with his career high of 25.9 points, but he also made his first All-Star game in 3 years. I think the first one was on the Phoenix Suns. And this would be his first of 4 straight All-Star appearances in Los Angeles. The logo, Jerry West, was a close second scoring leader with 25.8 points per game. And while I'm sure he did lead some of the previous Lakers squads in assists, he knew this year he would have to go above and beyond. In 1972, West became, to my knowledge, the first shooting guard. Yes, we know he was running point at the time, but he came into the league listed as a 2. So he was the first shooting guard to lead the league in assists with 9.2. And he was the MVP of the All-Star game, stealing clutch steals. I remember I've watched this game before. Hitting buzzer beaters. He was definitely the All-Star of that. The MVP of that All-Star game. And last but not least, the third of the 3-headed monster, Wilt Chamberlain. Again, if there were 2 players that had that big game experience that could capitalize on the now disbanded Celtics team, it would be them. The logo and Wilt. To do this, Wilt had to become a Bill Russell-esque defensive anchor and outlet passer, knowing he'd have to conserve some of that energy in big moments on the defensive end of the floor. This resulted in Chamberlain putting up his second lowest points per game with 14.8. Considering The Lakers lost another finals to Boston in 1969. Wilt only playing 12 games in the regular season, losing another finals in a valiant effort to the Knicks in 1970, then losing in the Western Conference Finals to the eventual champion Milwaukee Bucks after the logo goes down for the rest of the season due to injury. Also, the following year, they had to make something shake that year, and they indeed did. On November 1st, 1971, the Lakers had a record of 6-3. Pretty good, right? From then to January 8th, 1973, LA went on a magical 33-game winning streak. To this day, that's the longest winning streak in American team sports history. After the streak was ended by the Bucks, crazy enough, the next day, LA ended the season with a 69-13 record. This here broke the 68-13 record of the 1967 Philadelphia 76ers. The common denominator, Wilt Chamberlain. In the playoffs, they sweep the 57-win Western Conference Chicago Bulls, successfully served the dish of revenge to the Bucks, beating them in 6 games after getting gentlemen swept, and finally won 4-1 in the championship round against the New York Knicks. That was also revenge from 1970. That win made it the first championship outside the land of 1,000 lakes and in Tinseltown, Hollywood, LA. To wrap this up, I've come to the conclusion that the 1972 Lakers are the greatest team in the franchise history. And this is for various reasons. In that year, they were ranked the number one offense, and second defensively. Magic Johnson never won more than 67 games. He maxed out at 67 in 1987. Shaq and Kobe topped out at 67 as well in 2000. Magic won 65 in 87. And finally, Kobe and Powell, they won 67 in 2009. That 72 team has the record for the third most wins in history with 69. And ultimately, the team has reached heights no team has since, winning 33 straight games. And I know this is specifically about the team, but I got some bonus factoids here for y'all. With all the talks of players competing through injuries today, the Big Dipper took home finals MVP with a broken hand in 72, averaging 19.3 points, 23.2 rebounds, and 2.6 assists. Also, in both championship winning years, Chamberlain accomplished historic feats individually and collectively, from averaging 50 points and 25 rebounds in a single season, setting the all-time wins record twice, then to finally winning Finals MVP with a broken hand again, averaging 35.6 less points in the regular season. So, let me know. I know I got a lot of Laker fans that watch my content, so they might disagree, but I'm not a Laker fan. Me being what I consider an aficionado, a historian, I'm still a student, but I like to study. I'm a forever student in life, period. So, but I also consider I have a deep knowledge in basketball. So I would have to go with this team, but as the greatest Laker team ever. And this is personally my favorite team of all time. This is me personally, because you got everything. You got defense. You got wing scoring. Wilt can turn up if he wants to. He averaging a measly 15 points, but he's dominating on the defensive end. Can literally change the game with his defense. He was doing it in that Western Conference Finals in '72 against Kareem. Dominated him. I think he in total in that series he had to block his shot over 20 times. I know that's a fact for sure. It was a point he blocked his shot 3 straight times. If you go look at the highlights, so Wilt could easily turn up. He could turn up defensively, but he was done offensively. He didn't need to. He could give you 15. If he gave you 20, if he gave you 25 and 20, that's a great night in those 70 Lakers. And Wilt was hurt. Wilt had injuries, and just at 70%, he won Finals MVP. As technically the third best player on the team, he still won Finals MVP just off of his defense. I think in that last game, in that closeout game in LA, I think he got like 7 to 9 blocks. So yeah, he was dominant. He was dominant. So let me know what y'all think, man. But first, hit that like button. Comment at the beginning, middle, and end of the video. Share it for others to see. Subscribe. If you are a new viewer, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop. And finally, if you have a particular topic you want me to speak on, hit that link in the pinned comment section below and donate to the Rage. Man,